When you hear that the Democrats say, we support the Constitution, Donald Trump's breaking the Constitution, you hear the media say it too, well, ask yourselves a question. Why is this guy on ABC News' The View? Why is he constantly on cable so-called news channels if they believe the Constitution's important and this guy believes it's a piece of crap?
I set out to start to kind of try to write Project 2029, right? When Republicans come into office, they come in with a sledgehammer, right? They come in smashing things that I hold dear.
What's he hold dear? Fraud and abuse and waste? 4.8 million people with Social Security numbers and cards who are legal aliens? He holds that dear? I guess he does. What else does he hold dear? $50 to $100 billion a year in waste and fraud and Social Security? Does he hold that dear too? I mean, seriously, think about this, folks. Go ahead.
When Democrats come into office, they come in with like super glue and tape. And so they try to put things back together. So I thought about writing 10 constitutional amendments that'd be super cool if we had. But I was like, no. We need to smash the things that they like. We need to smash the things that are holding this country back.
And listen to the clapping seals. How do you think that audience gets picked? If you're a clapping seal and you want to join us, here, fill out this form. So the guy's saying we need to smash everything that you and I stand for. Okay, and then the clapping seals. This is ABC News. The View is part of ABC News. It's not part of ABC Entertainment. Go ahead.
And so I came up with 10 laws that we could just be rid of. Not reform, not update for the modern era. 10 things that we can smash if we ever are allowed to get power again that would make this country better tomorrow.
See? Now, I love this book. You are dead on, and it is a fantastic book.
Oy. Character witness, Sonny Hostin. I love this book. It hates America just like I do. It hates our founding just like I do. Now, I seem to recall one of her ancestors was a slave owner. I'm here to tell you right now, I must confess, none of mine were. That's right, none. I seem to recall her husband was charged with fraud. Now, maybe they've settled it since, I don't know. But there she is, she's still there. She was there peddling that Trump is a dictator and other stuff throughout. But this guy's unbelievable. I love your book. Oh. She lives in a multi-million-dollar mansion. I told you about her husband already. And it's just this hate America stuff. It's just incredible. Go ahead.
You write about is playing out right now, the Immigration and Nationality Act. Now, this administration is using this statute to justify the detentions and possible deportations, actually.
Why is she reading? She's supposed to be a lawyer. Doesn't she know how to speak? You know, when I'm reading something, we tell you I'm reading something. We put it up there. Or it's my own notes that I take. That's it. I don't have anybody write anything for me. Go ahead.
Visa and Green card holders who they seem to deem a threat to U.S. foreign policy. What do you make of the administration's use of the act and more broadly?
Oh, that's a tough question for him. I got to believe there's something about white supremacy. I haven't watched this, but I'm guessing because that's who this guy is. That's his mind. Go ahead.
Is Trump really setting up a First Amendment showdown, which is what Whoopi's been talking about?
Yes, absolutely. One of my premises for the book is
Whoa. I thought he condemned the Constitution. I'm so confused. What's a First Amendment? It's part of the Constitution. So why do they even cite the First Amendment? Forget about everything else. This is what drives me crazy about these clowns. Fools. They're schizophrenia. It's even worse than schizophrenia. They have 408 personalities. Let me tell you something. Is it a First Amendment confrontation? Well, who wrote the First Amendment? The first Congress? Oh. Who ratified it? State legislatures? Wow. This guy says, I don't know if he says here, we should ignore everything that took place before 1965 when the Voting Rights Act was passed. Even the 1964 Civil Rights Act, we should ignore that too? See, the 1964 Civil Rights Act preceded the 1965 Voting Rights Act because that was actually called the 1965 Civil Rights Act. And They were subsequent to the 1866 Civil Rights Act, and they were also subsequent to the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments to the Constitution of the United States. The 13th Amendment officially abolishing slavery, the 14th Amendment ensuring that all freed slaves, black people, would be treated like citizens. The Equal Protection Clause and Due Process Clause of the Fifth Amendment applied to every single state through the 14th Amendment. Should we ignore those too? Well, who voted for them? Mostly white people and mostly white legislatures. You get my drift? In fact, who fought the Civil War? Obviously, blacks fought too. The overwhelming majority of the soldiers in the North were white. See, this race game doesn't exactly play out like they wish that it would. Nobody's defending slavery, sure as hell I'm not. You know, my ancestors thousands of years ago, they had a little problem with slavery. I believe they built the pyramids in Egypt. But slavery has been a problem throughout humanity on every single continent. There's still slavery in Africa today. There's still slavery in the Middle East and the Far East today. There's slavery in communist China today. Slave camps and so forth. There is. Not in the United States. Well, check that. Women have been sold into sex slavery, and little children too, as a result of the Democrat Party's open borders. So there is that. Go ahead.
Every law passed before the 1965 Voting Rights Act should be presumptively unconstitutional, right? But because before the 1965 Voting Rights Act, we were functionally an apartheid country.
So somebody, and she's supposed to be a lawyer, I don't know what kind of lawyer. Maybe she was a slip and fall lawyer. I don't know. But I would say, let me get this straight then. You just cited the First Amendment. So that shouldn't count, right? Due process, she just cited that. That's the Fifth Amendment through the 14th Amendment. That shouldn't count. The Constitution's out, meaning the Bill of Rights is out. Gone. Not only that, the 1964 Civil Rights Act, that was passed before the 1965 Voting Rights Act. That's out too. Think about this idiot. He thinks he's clever. It's because he doesn't have anybody with an IQ over a pickle in order to respond to him. Just a slob. Go ahead.
Not everybody who lived here could vote here. So why should I give about some law that some old white man passed in the 1920s, like the Immigration and Nationality Act? When they passed...
The Immigration and Nationality Act was passed in the late 1700s originally. And why should he care about it? Oh, I don't know. Those Venezuelan gangs, you think they're just picking on white people? How sick this is. No, they're not. They are brutalizing all people. This is a sick man, and he's given these platforms, like The View. Go ahead.
Our fundamental immigration law. Congress said in real time that they needed the law to prevent the, quote, mongrelization of the white race.
It's not Congress. It's Democrats. It's Democrats. See, this guy needs somebody to stand up to him in his face, intellectually, and confront him. Excuse me. That's your party's history. Excuse me. Eugenics, that's your party. Slavery, that's your party. Segregation, that's your party. Poll taxes, your party. Literacy tests, your party. Separate but equal is equal, your party. My party was created to stop it. Those weren't Republicans standing in the schoolhouse doorway. Those were Democrat governors. And then they changed history. I wrote all about this in The Democrat Party Hates America. Seriously. If you're interested in it, I deal with the whole thing. Every single one of these things that come up. It took a while to write that book. And it was a switch, you know. The old Southern Democrats were really the Republicans, and the Republicans of old are now the Democrats. That's not what happened. Nothing of the kind like that happened. So, we constitutionalists have always been constitutionalists. You love Abraham Lincoln, they love Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln was a constitutionalist. That's what he was. That's why he won the Civil War, and that's why the Civil War it wasn't started by Lincoln, but he said we need to engage and we need to defeat the other side. And I can go on and on and on about this. Go ahead.
Now I look at that law and I say, I don't think that's so good. I don't think we should still be using it, but we are still using it today. That is the authority that Trump is using to criminalize people and to pull people's
He's
visa.
not using the authority to criminalize people. The people are already criminalized under existing immigration laws. Now let's be clear about something. This man has taken something like slavery and civil rights and has applied it to illegal aliens who've come to this country and have murdered, raped, otherwise assaulted, committed acts of robbery, burglary. They're part of an international gang, and he compares it to the slavery period, and he compares it to the civil rights movement. This is why you cannot stand the Democrats and the left. Look how they dumb down these seminal moments in American history, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Look how they dumb down our educational process. Look how they dumb down with their rhetoric. This kind of even makes sense. Doesn't even make sense. And they're all sitting there slobbering away. Oh, yeah. What? Because it's Trump? Go ahead.
Cards. Marco Rubio, that comes from the 1956 update to the 1921 Act. Now, I personally do not think that I can convince people to open their hearts and minds to immigration. I understand that in our failing
We're not
country,
even talking about immigration generally. We can. You cannot have floods of people in a country and expect the country to survive. He doesn't want the country to survive. Neither do the Democrats. Again, the Democrat Party hates America.
For all this and much more, sign up for Levin TV.